Hey, thanks for joining Chris and I today on the Invisible Strength podcast. Today's topic is a timely one as it's mid fall and daylight savings time is right around the corner. And each day we are losing 2 minutes of sunlight every single day.
Oof.
Plus, temperatures are dropping as we move into the cooler months. So, today we'll unpack the science of why fall's double whammy of daylight savings time and dropping temps can wreak havoc on our sleep and even stir up depression, especially with autoimmune conditions. But it's not all sad and don't lose hope yet because knowledge is our invisible strength. And we'll
Yes.
share 7 stackable hacks to get through this winter season. But first, let's start with the clock culprit.
Mhm.
Moving into daylight savings right around that corner, we can be super excited about gaining that extra hour of sleep, but actually, it can be a trigger for us.
Mhm. Yeah, it can be so, miserable to feel like you're just trying your best to get started, that slow Sunday morning, you're trying to have a second cup of coffee, and we were just saying right before we recorded that, so often we just put the blame on us. Maybe it's just something going on mentally, maybe we're just making it all up, but it's not just affecting our mood, it's actually affecting our biology. And if you're someone who's managing an autoimmune issue like chronic fatigue, this hour in the morning, that extra hour, isn't a gift, it's a trigger. That sudden change can jolt your circadian rhythm, the system that tells your body when it's time to go to sleep, when it's time to eat, even when it's time to repair yourself. So, what can often be viewed as a bonus hour often backfires, and the earlier dark times can cause melatonin to release way too early. So, you get that shallow sleep, that feeling like you're kind of asleep, but not really all.
That's the first time I've heard that term, a social jet lag, but it totally makes sense because what you're talking about with like that lighter sleep and not getting enough of that deep sleep, you feel groggy and you can feel jet lagged. When we're talking about sleep, we often bring up how long you need to be in asleep, but you can be asleep for the standard 8, 9 hours and
Mhm.
still get the feeling of that I didn't get enough rest. I
Yeah.
know there's been times where I'm like, "Did I actually sleep? Was I
Right.
awake? I couldn't
Right.
tell. I
No,
was
no,
in
no.
bed trying, but I don't know if I actually slept."
If it actually worked out, right. And it's such a funny game, and that's what it sometimes feels like, going back and forth between, spring ahead and fall back. We're starting to see a greater push within the science community for a permanent standard time. Stanford School of Medicine, for example, is calling for no more clock games because they believe that moving from a system where we adjust the clock, twice a year to a time where we just have a standard time overall could actually help mitigate a lot of these risks that we're talking about.
I think it's needed given the research I'm a proponent of. Let's make this standard.
Just standard, because I think about, especially, January, February, the months that, the days are so short. You're conceivably, as a working person or as a student, leaving your house in darkness and returning in darkness, and you never got to enjoy whatever sunshine, if there was any sunshine happening during the day. You didn't even get to enjoy it. You were inside because it's so cold. So I think allowing us to get more sunlight as you're waking up, those summer months.
I feel like even if you don't have depression, getting out of work at 4:30 and it's pitch black is like, that is
Oh,
depressing.
I mean, you're trying to have a good day, but it's just I need sunlight. I'm a plant. I know that about myself. I am definitely part plant. I need as much sunlight as possible.
For sure. Well, and studies have shown increases in the seasonal affective disorder skyrocket during
Yeah,
this time of year.
no
So
question.
we'll get into that, but one sidebar, especially when it's really cold out and you can't get out and get that
Ooh,
sunlight, those
yeah.
light boxes can be a game changer for people. The colder temps can have a greater impact on people with certain autoimmune conditions, especially like with Hashimoto's. You
Yeah.
mentioned Raynaud's, which I personally have experienced. I
Mhm.
have at various times shown my friends and my family, look at how purple my hands and my feet are.
Right, right.
They look like they are on a dead person and are
Yes.
gonna fall off.
Cadaver. You just got cadaver hands, right? It is so I remember thinking at first it was like kind of cool. I was like, oh man, do I have powers or something? But like the way that they just look so purple and blue and just are numb. Like, oh, did I get frostbite and it's just 45 degrees? Like, how did that happen?
Yeah, for sure. Do you take extra precautions in the winter when you're experiencing that?
Well, I've been known to wear gloves like a good chunk, especially if I'm living in the area. Now I'm in the southeast, so not as often. But when I was in the northeast, I would wear gloves from September to May sometimes, just to make sure that I wasn't dealing with it. Because it's also some of the social stigma of I had to sort of pick my poison, I guess, like where someone would see me in April where it's like 60 degrees, like why are you wearing gloves? And I'd much rather explain that than to have the
We talk about invisible strength and sometimes the support devices and products that we use to help ourselves make our situation very visible.
yes.
But to your point, after you're on this journey for so long, you get to a point where it's like, you know what? I don't care. I just got to do whatever I got to do to take care of myself.
Listen, if they want to question my fuzzy socks, that's up to them. I just need some fuzzy socks. I can't do this without my fuzzy socks.
I love that. The reasoning behind Raynaud's and why some of us get so cold is our
Mhm.
blood vessels tighten, which can spike the number of times that we're waking up at
That's
night,
right.
which can ultimately cause us to lose up to 30 to 60 minutes of sleep, which is
Ooh,
wild. It's opposite for people without autoimmune conditions because we need those cooler temperatures to cool our
yes.
bodies and actually fall asleep, but
hmm
that can backfire for us in the winter months, which is interesting.
Yeah, and it's really hard to achieve homeostasis and stability if when I'm sleeping at night, like my wife likes to turn the fan on, and I'm like, oh gosh, I'm freezing. So then I bundle myself up like a burrito, and then I'm like trying to crawl out of the sheets. I'm like, oh, I overheated in here. It's just really trying to find out what works best. That temperature is vital.
When you're crawling out of your burrito blanket, that cold air is a shock to the
Oh,
system too.
it's such a shock to the system. Instant wake up. Instant wake up.
Well, they talk about cold exposure therapy being beneficial, so maybe we're getting a little bit of that
That's what
with
we're doing.
it.
Homemade cold exposure therapy, right?
Totally. I mentioned the shorter days can lead to the sad
Yeah.
condition escalating, but
Mhm.
also even just less time outdoors. I just get cabin fever. I'm sick of
Right.
being in the house. I
Yes.
gotta get out. And the research shows that can actually spark stress, which I
Yeah.
didn't realize that I was getting a stress response from feeling cooped up. Chris, what are some of the ways that you work to get out in the winter and avoid this cabin feverish feeling?
Yeah, so I like to, for example, bundle myself up and like go over to my gym physically. Like I sometimes will do workouts at home. I do that around the year because there's some workouts I like to use like like Apple Fitness or YouTube. But I will make the point of going out and just exposing my face to that winter air. Obviously, I have a dog, so obviously I have to go walk that dog. So even if the dog, if it's raining or snowing, my dog does not want to go outside. It's just like a diva. It does not want to go outside in inclement weather. But being able to go outside just to do a simple task like walking the dog, checking the mail, all these different ways that would take care of chores around the house, tasks that we have that allow us to go outside and just get a little bit of exposure without overexposing yourself to the elements. Cause that's the thing too. I can't if I'm outside too long. Obviously, there could be some adverse.
Yeah. Well, and some of the neuroscientists like Andrew Huberman, he'll say that Even if it's cloudy out, you can still get
Mm.
the photonutrients that you need,
Yeah.
and it only takes a few minutes, so you don't need to be out in the freezing for half hour. Even if you could do, like, 5, 10 minutes, that's beneficial.
Mhm.
Those little things, it's beneficial, like, if you have a dog who likes to go outside when it's raining or snowing
That's
because
right,
then it
that's right.
forces you to get out. But to your
Yeah,
point,
yeah,
even making sure you're walking to the mailbox or around the block and
yeah,
having that set routine, it'll make it easier to do it on a daily basis. Quite frankly,
totally.
I'm still working on doing it on a daily basis, but
That's
I'm
good.
striving for it before these winter months come because otherwise it's not going to turn out well. I love that you bring this up because it's actually one of our 7 hacks to get through the season. Yeah, for sure. Because and the science behind it is when you wake up at a consistent time and go to bed at a consistent time, it actually calms your cortisone levels
Mhm.
and then boosts melatonin later in the evening when you
Right.
actually need it. It also helps you protect your immune system
Yeah,
because when you're going to sleep and waking up at all different times, it spikes your cortisol, which stresses you out, and that
yeah,
can actually exacerbate anxiety and depression and other mental health conditions.
yeah,
So it's not about just making it easier to fall asleep and get up. It's actually physically affecting our physical and mental well-being. Sometimes even if you are going to bed and waking up at the same time consistently, some things can disrupt our sleep quality and we're
mhm,
not getting enough of that deep rest.
yeah,
In those cases, the research speaks to still wake up at the same time, even if you didn't have a great night's sleep. And
right,
then you can take a 20 to 30-minute nap later in the day to help you kind of recharge. There's no
mhm.
shame in doing that. You just don't want to sleep for 2 hours because you're going to mess up your whole rhythm,
Right, 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 yeah.
which I've done before.
Oh, we've all been there, we've all been there. It's amazing when you study how little time you actually need to, like, take a break or take a nap, because we often think, "Oh, I'm taking a nap. See you in 3 hours." You don't need that much time for a nap. It really can be something as quick as, like, 15, 20 minutes, sometimes even 5 if you're, like, a power nap person, but our body's amazing at resetting itself very quickly, but getting those rhythms of rest are really important as well.
For sure. One thing I've learned about is yoga nidra.
Uh-huh.
It takes me a long time to fall asleep. Like, it can
Gotcha.
take me a half hour to fall asleep. Oftentimes, like, a 30-minute nap isn't in the cards for me.
Right.
But I've found with yoga nidra, so it's essentially meditation, but you don't actually sleep. It'll walk you through different muscle tensing and other exercises while you
Hey,
close your eyes. It has been shown to reset your nervous system.
come on.
Even if I don't sleep, I
Yeah.
have found that coming out of that, I'm much more refreshed and awake than if I hadn't done it.
So I have to tell you, I'm amazed by this because for years, Karen, I would say I don't take naps, but I play 2K. And I would sit there with like my video game controller and just mindlessly play one game of 2K and then be refreshed. Like I'd play it and I'd be so sleepy. And then like after I'm done, I'm like, okay, I can get back to whatever I needed to do. And it just feels like there's something about allowing your
Well, and I think there's a difference between being sleep deprived and mentally exhausted. It can be hard to tell the difference by doing those mental resets, whether it's needing to do a stair, play a video game, yoga nidra, whatever your jam is.
yeah,
That
yeah,
can totally be enough to be like, all right, I'm ready to get back at this.
there it is. I like that a lot.
For people who are like, going into an office or work every single day, they're like, I'm not going to be able to take a 20-minute nap.
No chance. No chance.
But maybe you can go for a walk or do something else to recharge.
Totally. Go walk. Find where the furthest water cooler is in your office and go get water there and come back. Something as simple as that. Like our bodies, we're not machines in the sense of we were never made to just do work consistently. You have to interrupt it in order to do work well. And
Yeah, for sure.
Mhm.
Okay, let's move into another hack.
Here for it.
We alluded to some of the things that we do to keep warm. I live by my heated vest in the winter.
Come on, he's best.
I'm in Minnesota. Temperatures can get sub-zero very
Yeah.
quickly, not cool, not easy to get outside in that weather. But
Mm-mm.
when I have a heated vest, I have heated socks. I'm
On.
thinking about getting the heated gloves this year.
That's the one. I've had those. Had
Have
those.
you?
Yes. It
Do I
was
need to
like
purchase these?
you really do. They are a game changer. I have lost mine. I am terrible, notorious for losing gloves. I am not proud of it. Don't get me nice gloves, I'm gonna lose them. But I had these really nice gloves that were like, and they had could kind of like also transform into mittens, and you
Yeah.
put this little warming pack in, and my whole hand would be so warm. It was wonderful, like top tier winter wear, heated gloves.
That's so nice, and I'll say if you can't bite the bullet on some of the heated stuff, just those little heat packs that you shake and
Shake
slide in
them,
there, those are pretty good.
so good, and they last like a couple hours sometimes. Like depending on the one you get, they can last a long time.
I actually drop them in and put them at the front of my ski boot.
Uh,
My feet are always so
oh,
cold, but that
no, we
does
need
the trick. I also have 2 heated blankets that I just pretty much move from room to room around the
yeah,
house.
yes. I'm just seeing you, like, unplug your blanket, go to the next place, and just keep it going.
Maybe I'm glowing from all this heated stuff.
That's right, that's
Is
right.
that good for you? I don't know.
Internal temperature 120, just, like, on fire.
I haven't tried a weighted blanket. Have you ever gotten one of those or used one of those?
I've used them once, and you really do feel almost like a childlike sense of security with a weighted blanket on.
Sure.
Like, especially it's like I'm 6'3", like, people can't tell, like, on the screen, but, like, my feet are never, like, hanging off the floor or, like, I never feel like, "Oh, like, I feel so small and, like, cuddled." So to have those opportunities feel very nice. I'm just kinda, like, with the weighted blanket, if I need to, like, jump up out of bed, like, is it gonna allow.
Yeah, I haven't tried one yet, but I was curious simply because losing daylight
Yeah.
and then the dropping temps can boost anxiety.
Yes.
Weighted blanket might be a double win because you get the
Yeah.
warmth and then maybe helps you.
Anxiety reduces.
Okay, moving into our next hack, we talked about making sure that you have that rhythm in the morning. It can really set the stage for a good day and the next
Mhm.
night's sleep. But how we wind down at night is equally important. One of the hacks is drinking something warm before bed. We think this is the opposite of helping because we know our bodies need to cool down at night.
Mhm.
But when we're drinking something warm, it triggers our body to say, oh, we need to start cooling down.
That's right.
So, my favorite beverages to help at night is bone broth, especially in the
Mhm.
winter months, just so warm and cozy. But other people use ginger, chamomile tea,
Yes, yes.
or golden plant milk
That's the
warmed
one.
up. Is that your fave? What's your fave?
I've been making golden milk for, like, the last 3. It's like my Sunday evening ritual entering the week. I will warm up my pot of oat milk with the turmeric and the black pepper and the ginger and nutmeg, vanilla, cinnamon, all that stuff in there, and it is so delicious. No one else in my family will drink it with me. They think it's nasty. They're like, "Where's the sugar?" I think, "There's no sugar. It's just warm and wonderful, but it's spicy." But it's so good. I love golden milk.
So, ignorant question for
Here
you.
for it. Here for it.
What is golden milk? Is it any sort of plant milk? Like, what is it?
So I've used oat milk. I suppose you could use almond milk for it. I just like the way that oat milk's texture is for this in particular. I like oat milk with teas. I think they work really well for that, and I like almond milk for like smoothies in cereals. But I think as long as you're using turmeric, that's what's gonna give it like the golden color. And then like I had black pepper and ginger. Uh, I had nutmeg and vanilla and some cinnamon. I think it's just a very Like, I describe it as a drink that makes you smile, you know? It just puts a smile on my face.
Well, it sounds delicious to me, and I'm gonna try it.
There it is.
One more question about the oat milk. Is that a bit thicker than almond milk?
And I would
Yeah.
try
I'm gonna try that because I used to put in almond milk into my tea, and I was like, "Meh, I don't think I even need this," so I just skipped it
right,
altogether.
totally, yes, exactly. But there's certain teas that, I don't know, it's just like growing up in, like, a British system of just, like, it has to have milk in it. There's certain teas that, like, really you gotta add milk to, like a good chai or apple cinnamon and stuff like that. And so there are certain teas that I was trying to do without milk, and I was like, "This just doesn't seem right. I need to add milk to this." So oat milk, I'm grateful for.
I feel that I have a black vanilla tea sitting in my cupboard, and I haven't touched it in a while because I'm like, it just needs something more, but I didn't like the
Yeah.
almond milk with it. So
Right.
I'll have to try the oat milk and maybe
Yeah.
that'll jazz it up. You might have just changed my whole world because I'm still putting almond milk in my coffee. I might have to switch that up too.
No, come through, come through. Now, I will say there are good like almond-based creamers that exist, and I rock with those. But in terms of just like your regular milk that you get from the store, oat milk in your coffee and tea, 10 out of 10.
All right. Well, you heard it here. I'll let you know how it goes.
We'll report back. We'll report back in a follow-up episode.
For sure. For sure. So another hack is addressing the isolation feeling
hmm
in
hmm
the winter. We tend to just hold up in our apartments, houses, especially up here. If the windshield is -20, I'm like, I
No,
don't want to go outside. I
no
don't want to
chance.
drive. I'm going to stay at home.
No chance. Right. Who could blame you?
How, with this hack, how can we stay connected even though we may be in the same four walls? And when you send those random texts, it's like, hey, just thinking about you. Hope you're doing well. Like, I've noticed I'm smiling when I'm doing
Yeah.
it and I'm happy and I'm like, oh, I feel so good about this person. I'm glad I'm reaching out. And it gives you
Right.
such a positive boost.
No question, no question. We just need to check in. It doesn't take that long. It doesn't cost us much, if anything at all, to just send a quick message. And if you have the time to send someone a phone call, like I know like generationally, there's a lot of folks, I guess like maybe like a millennial Gen Z and younger who are like, what's a voicemail? I'm not using voicemail. But can I tell you, I get voicemails from like boomers and stuff like that. And it's so sweet to get a voicemail. And I was like, man, I never leave voicemails, Karen, but they're so wonderful to get voicemails. Or like if someone gives you like a voice memo in a text, I'm like, you took time to send me this 2 minute monologue. Thank you. And it's not just like they want something from you. They're just telling you about their day and hope they want to hear about your day. It's these little things that, technology can isolate us, but can really bring us together in special ways too.
For sure. And you brought it up on another episode about making sure we're checking in with our networks around us, even when we don't need support or want something, because
Yeah.
that really makes that relationship special.
Yes.
Then, in those times when, hey, maybe you do need extra support because you're going through a flare or whatever the challenges are,
Mm.
related to health or otherwise, it's like then that person it will be so much more likely and able to be there for you when it's a two-way street.
It's my car broke down. I need I need some cash to pay the mechanic or whatever. Like that's not the first point of contact, but we just invest in each other so that we all really know how we're doing. All of us have to think about the foundation of every relationship being trust. And part of trust is that you have to continue to nurture trust. And so part of our checking in with each other is to nurture that trust and make sure that people know they're not having to do this thing called life by themselves, that they actually have a community, have people who care about them, love them, want to see them win. And when we remind each other of that, it helps to strengthen the whole community.
Yeah, when we're building that trust, that really helps us get to know each other exactly where we're at and how we're feeling just based on how we respond and how we communicate on any given day. So I think that is so vital to bring up.
No doubt. No doubt.
I want to circle back and uplift the point that you had made about how your mom talks to her sisters every
Yes.
day.
Yes.
Especially in our fast-paced world, I could call my sisters and we would just play phone tag all
Oh,
week.
for sure. For sure.
But I like the idea of leaving a voicemail. We usually just follow up with a text. Didn't need anything, just checking in.
Just checking in, yeah.
But a voicemail would be nice. But going back to your mom and sisters,
Yes.
having that scheduled can help you stay on track with regularly catching up with people that you care about,
Yeah.
especially in those darker months, because sometimes you can start to slip and feeling more sluggish and down
Yeah.
by having those pre-scheduled calls, that'll automatically boost your mood and help you stay on track with keeping up with being social and not getting into those feelings of isolation. It's unbelievable how much it affects us and impacts us.
Yeah. Totally. We're not truly individuals in the ways that we think we are. Like we're part of a larger organism called humanity. and
Yeah,
and we forget that. We really do.
for sure. We're social creatures and that's how
Yes.
we thrive. Moving into the last hack is checking in with yourself. If you are getting under 6 hours of quality sleep for
Oh, right.
more than a couple of weeks,
Yeah.
we then it's suggested that you should really check in with your doctor.
Yes.
Potentially screening for SAD or adjusting a therapy plan can really help get you through some of the winter months. With all these hacks, you're doing what you are supposed to be doing, but it's just not quite enough and you can't get out of whatever funk that looks like. Be sure to check in with your doctor. There's options out there.
Totally. Totally. And I love that you're talking about this because people have conditioned themselves to get so little sleep. And you hear people say, "I'm just good on 3 hours, 4 hours," and then they start their day with, like, an energy drink that's basically like nitroglycerin in a can. And just like we're hurting ourselves through our habits. Just go to bed. Like, you don't have to be at the last thing, and knowing that, you know
I appreciate that because it can feel like, especially when you have a stressful or overly busy day, that you're
totally.
like, I need this now.
Yeah, yeah.
But I think what's helped me is thinking about it on a longer scale throughout the week. Say, okay, yes, today was a busy day, but I really need to go to bed at 7 or 8 and get my rest. And maybe I have time later in the week to really do some whatever that self-care looks like, whether it's checking in on a Knicks game. For us, it's the Timberwolves. Right now, we're big in the Wild.
That's right, that's right, that's right, let them know.
But it doesn't all have to happen right now. It's like you
No.
can do that as it makes sense with your
Mhm.
schedule so that you're not sabotaging your daily rhythms and routines.
Yeah. That's really it. Just ways, as we think about like little hacks and ways that we can uh get through all of this is I would encourage everyone to consider ways in which they are being kind to themselves. So as much as you want to watch 7 episodes of Love Island before bed, ask yourself, is this truly kind? Am I being kind to myself? Or is this just me, saying I can do it? I'm an adult. Who could tell me no? Like, just be kind to yourself.
You've said it in earlier episodes. You have to be okay when the check comes that you're willing to pay that price at a later
Yeah,
date.
totally. Because the check is coming. The waiter has not forgotten how much you stayed up.
That's actually helped me because before I was just like, yeah, whatever, I need this now. But checked myself and was like, do you really want to pay for this later? No, I really do
No,
not.
mm-mm. It's not worth it. Not worth it. Like, taking care of yourself today and living with, a long-term window and with the end in mind, frankly, is, going to be so beneficial for sure.
Hopefully, you took away some things that may help you level up your sleep and rest during the upcoming winter seasons. We'd encourage you to pick one hack and then tag us at Unseen Yet Unstoppable and share how you did with it and did it actually help your situation. If you have a different hack that we haven't shared today, we are all ears. We'd love to push it out to the community. So drop us a comment with what helps you get more sleep and stay warm during the winter months. Last but not least, if you are struggling processing your disease or the challenges that you're dealing with, I want to open it up to Chris and share about our coaching programs that are just launching for extra support.
Absolutely. Really excited to be able to offer not only one-on-one coaching sessions, but also group coaching sessions. I think so often what we deal with at the core of all that we're going through with autoimmune diseases and disorders is some form of grief, some form of loss, a sense of lost time, lost opportunities, a lost sense of who you are as a person. And having the space to process it is really hard to find. Well, we're really excited here at Invigorate to be able to offer that space to you, where we're going to be offering signups available now. If you go to our website, and you'll be able to sign up for either a one-on-one coaching session, where I'm helping to guide you through all that you're carrying and really help you rediscover who you are now. And also in group sessions where we're able to articulate our shared sense of loss and how that showed up in a variety of ways, and what we can do going forward to allow us the best quality of life possible. So if that sounds like something you're interested in, or something that you think a loved one could really benefit from, I encourage you to go to our website and go ahead and register right now. We're going to be starting these sessions in November, and cannot wait to see you there.
Check out the link in the description. Until next time, you can stay warm with an invisible strength blanket and other merch. The link is in the description. Please take care of yourselves. Reach out if you need support. We're here for you in any way, shape, or form. Peace. Thanks, Chris.
Peace.